Hello, this is Matthew Kucinich, and I'm going to show you how to generate your own AirTags using a method very similar to OpenHaystack to get it to work on your Flipper Zero. So, first thing, some prerequisites. You're going to need Docker Desktop, Python, which you probably already have by now, and Git. So first things first, let's clone our repository. So you're going to head over to, let me find it. You're going to head over to my repository here. It's just github.com/Matthew Kucinich, and you can find it there. Come over to the green button, click it, and then click copy right here. Now you're going to want to open a terminal where you want to save it. So it's easy to do. You could just right click and click open in terminal. There we go. Now we're going to type git clone, and then we're going to paste the address. It's going to take half a second. And now we have our new folder. So if you visited the repo before, you'll notice that we now have an AirTag generation folder. I cleaned stuff up quite a bit. So the source code is going to be in FindMy Flipper. The releases, where you can just install the app, is going to be inside the releases folder, and this is for the Flipper Zero. And the new folder, AirTag Generation, is going to have everything you need to actually make the AirTags and get it working. So now that we have all of the prereqs out of the way, let's start. So I'm going to open up Docker Desktop, make sure you have it running, and then I'm going to open up another terminal. And this is going to be in the same location as before. Let's clear screen, make it a little bit easier. Now, I'm going to give you all of the commands to just copy and paste. It's not that many. So the first one is going to be a docker run command. And this is just going to set up our server. Now, it's very quick for me because I already have it cached. You probably won't, so when you paste the command, it'll say it can't find it locally, and then it'll download it. You'll see that this container now appears, and we can make sure it's running by clicking this, and that will open up a browser tab to the actual page. Now this is what's going to trick the authentication servers into thinking that you are on a MacBook Pro 13, I guess, is what it says here. So we verified it's up and running. Now we can move on to the next step, which is going to be creating a virtual environment inside of Python. So let's grab this, and we're going to change directory into our AirTag generation. Spell it wrong. Oh, it's in FindMy Flipper first. Okay, now we're here. We're going to create our virtual environment by typing in Python. It's probably Python 3 for you that you'll type in. For me, it'll just be Python. I think I messed something up in my path. Followed by -m, and then venv for virtual environment, and I'm going to do that twice. It's going to set up. It's not going to tell you anything. It's just going to kind of move forward. So we'll give it a second here. There we go. Now we can check, and we should have a new folder called venv, and we need to activate this virtual environment. So I'm going to go into it, into a scripts folder, and from here we're going to run the activate.bat. Bam. Alright, we're all set. So now we're going to go back to our AirTag generation folder, and we can actually get started. So first things first, we're going to want to generate our keys. So you can either type Python 3 and then dash backslash or dot / generate keys. It's going to run the script that I threw together. I'm just going to generate one key for right now. I don't need a name, and bam. So we have all the information we need. I'm going to keep this terminal open because it'll be useful to reference this later. So we have our MAC address and payload. This is what the Flipper application is going to parse. It can also do some base 64 stuff, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to move it out of the way, and you'll see that we have a new folder here called keys. Inside the keys folder, we have basically just a write out of all the same information. So once you verify that you have your .keys, we are pretty much ready to go. So this is the step where you would take this file and put it onto your Flipper. And I have my Flipper nearby. I can actually show you the process. So I'm going to open up QFlipper while I grab my Flipper. I'm going to plug it in. Alright. So, first thing I'm going to do is turn off FindMy Flipper. Also, if you like this menu, make sure you check it out. I designed it myself. If you're running Momentum, you can just go into your Momentum settings and then interface and then main menu, and then it's just called the Momentum main menu. Anyways, you're going to want to click this file icon, go into your SD card, and we're going to open up our apps data folder. Once you're inside that, click the FindMy, and this is where you'll paste your key. So, just drag it on top. There you go. Now you can disconnect your Flipper. Well, close the app first, then disconnect your Flipper, and everything is done on that end. You can import it from the app directly. So, that side can literally be sending out a beacon right now and start generating those location reports. While that does that, we will set up the rest. So our next two Python scripts are going to be request reports and web service. Request reports is going to do a real-time request for location data, and this is what you will need your Apple account for. Well, yeah, technically you'll need it for both, but we will open up our terminal again. And this time we're going to do Python, and we're going to run our location report script. No, request report. There we go. So now it's going to ask for my Apple ID. I'm going to type it in now. And then it's going to ask for your password. It's going to go through this process, and then it's going to ask for your two-factor authentication code. So on the device registered with your Apple account, you're going to get your Apple ID code. I just got mine through text. So you're just going to enter that. (041-401). There we go. So we're basically all done. As you'll see here, 0 reports found. This is just the name of our key file, and this is because there have been no reports so far on the FindMy network, and I'm actually not broadcasting, so I'm going to pause the video and start broadcasting. Alright, and I might as well show you guys the process for importing, just while we're here. So once you open up the FindMy app, you're just going to go over to the config, click register tag, click Apple AirTag, OpenHaystack.keys file. and then find the .keys file for the thing you just generated. Once you click it, you'll get the imported screen, and you're good to go. It's that easy. Okay, so I'm going to wait to see some actually reports come in. And if no reports come in the next minute or so, I'm just going to move on to the next step. So you can just run the script again and keep checking. If you get this error 200, it's a good thing. It means that everything went through and works correctly. However, no locations have been yet detected. So now we're going to move on to the far easier and better API. To do that, we're just going to type Python or Python 3 and open up our web server.py file. So it won't actually say anything here, but it is running in the background. And you will just need to go to your local host right here. So 127.0.0.1 on port 8000 /docs. And I'll refresh just to show you it's live. So this is basically our control panel. It's an API that deals with everything FindMy. So to get our reports, we have this first one, single device encrypted reports. If you want to do more than one at one time, you can do it with this one. I'm not going to show that, but it is very simple to do. And all you need to download the report is the hashed advertisement key in base 64. So this isn't the advertisement key or the public key, it's the hashed one. And the hashed one should be longer anyways. So if you paste the non-hashed version, it'll just tell you that it's not long enough. So we're going to open up our folder again, go inside our keys, open it up. Here's our hashed advertisement key. Copy that. Oh, you have to click try it out first. Paste it in there and click execute. So status 200, this again basically means that everything's working, but there are no reports. So I'm going to wait just a little bit, see what happens. If I still don't have a report by then, it is still working. I may just cut the video and wait until I do get one. Okay, so it was taking a little while, and it probably has something to do with the fact that I don't have an Apple device around me. So the key that I was testing with, I just put in, and I was literally testing with this right before the video, so it's all fresh. When you click execute, this is what it will look like. You'll see your results, and then for each location ping, it'll be another entry here, and it tells you your time that is published, along with the payload and ID, and this is what you are going to decode for your actual location data. So how do we decode? Well, you click download here, and it'll download it in a JSON file, and then we can close this up, go to Decryption, try it out, set this to true. We're going to now open that file we just downloaded and paste the private key this time. Now this is the key that you definitely do not want to share, so please keep that in mind. And then click execute. And it'll show you right here where it was found, as well as the latitude and longitude and the confidence value that it has for that location. So obviously I'm going to blur a lot of this because it's my actual location, but yeah, it's very, very simple once you get the hang of actual location downloads. Now is the job of making a front end to get this into a user-friendly viewing experience, and I'm sure someone will come along, or I'll come along and do that. Make something like the Macless Haystack web app. So I guess stay up to date for that, but there you have it. That is how you use a generated AirTag on non-Apple devices, and it just takes a little bit of setup work, but once you're done, you're done. You can forget about it and keep tracking your data, and it if you look here, it will continue to save your reports, and so you can actually use this to create a location mapping, so you can actually track like the movement, or track a trail that you took, stuff like that. Whereas in the actual FindMy app, you're only ever given the latest position, and so you can't view location history. So this is actually a benefit over the actual FindMy network, obviously with the caveats. But yeah, I hope this is helpful. I will leave all the instructions or links to instructions in the video description. Make sure you give my repo a star, and you give a star to the guy that actually helped create this whole system. All those links will be in the description as well. Thank you.